But Trump has bigger problems than mayors from countries he's never even heard of. Because in life, only 3 things are certain: death, Adobe updates, and taxes.
Trump is under fire from both sides of the aisle for not releasing his tax returns.
Trump's tax troubles, will he or won't he release them before the election?
And what about his taxes? So you got to ask yourself, why doesn't he want to release them? Yeah, well, we're going to find out.
Yeah, you go, Hillary. Woo, I'm loving this. And Hillary is just the person to find out what's in Donald's secret tax returns, because odds are he's probably keeping it in the same place she hides her Goldman Sachs speeches. So, I mean, this is all coming around. Yeah. Look, the truth is, this is not a legal question. Every presidential nominee since 1976 has released their tax returns in the interest of transparency. And now it's become one of those things that voters just expect. You know, it's sort of like washing your hands after you take a dump. Like, you don't have to do it. You can't get arrested for not doing it. But it at least helps us know there's no lingering, you know? That's all it is. And of all the people to not want to release their tax returns, why Donald Trump? I mean, he's so proud of his tax returns. Whenever he talks about them, he sounds like he's talking about sex.
Will you release any of your tax returns for the public to scrutinize?
Well, we're working on that now. Very big returns, as you know, and I have everything all approved and very beautiful.
I want to tell you right now, I have no problem with giving my tax returns. It's a massive return.
I would love to give the tax returns. At the appropriate time, you'll be very satisfied.
Actually, is it just me, or does it sound like foreplay with a dude who can't get it up? I can't give it to you right now because I'm just dealing with this thing with the IRS, but I mean, if I could, trust me, you would, oh man, you would refund so hard. If you had my tax returns, your toes would curl. Ugh. Now look, it's tax. Calm down, people. Now look, a tax return can tell you a lot about a candidate. You know, a lot of facts about a candidate. For instance, what is their real annual income? Do they actually donate to charity? And how much tax do they effectively pay? And do they like jazz? So many things you can learn. And right now, Trump's refusal to release his tax returns is making news because he's the Republican nominee. But people have been calling for his tax returns ever since he started flirting with the idea of running for president. And he's always had an excuse. For instance, here's Trump and what he said in 2011.
If I run, you'll see what a great job, because I'll do a full disclosure of finances.
Including your tax returns?
We'll look at that. Maybe I'm going to do the tax returns when Obama does his birth certificate.
What? That has nothing to do with the other thing. That's like a police officer saying, I'm going to need you to see your ID, and you're like, okay, but first show me your belly button. What? And you know what? Obama showed his belly button. Yeah, and it's an outie. Aww. Yeah, just 8 days after Trump used that excuse, Obama did release his birth certificate. So in 2015, when Trump was again asked about his taxes, he came up with a new excuse.
Will you release your tax returns?
We'll see what I'm going to do with tax returns. I have no major problem with it, but I may tie them to a release of Hillary's emails.
What do you... Oh, you mean the 55,000 pages of emails that she's given to the State Department? Quick, Donald, think of a new excuse.
Sure, if the audit is finished, I'll do it as fast as the audit's finished. I can't do it until the audit is finished, obviously. Nobody would ever put out their returns that's under an audit. I'm always audited by the IRS, which I think is very unfair. I don't know, maybe because of religion, maybe because of the fact that I'm a strong Christian and I feel strongly about it, and maybe there's a bias.
Yeah, you know what? That's probably it, Donald Trump. The IRS said to itself, you know what? Let's go after some strong Christians. How about the adulterous two-time divorcee who refers to communion wafers as little crackers? Yeah, we're going after that guy. That's what he calls communion, little crackers. You can just picture Trump in church. We eat this cracker to honor shirtless beard man who stapled himself to the lowercase t of sadness. Oh, and by the way, one more thing. Richard Nixon actually released his tax return during an audit. Yeah, so right now, Donald Trump, you're shadier than Richard Nixon. Shadier than Richard Nixon. Do you understand what that means? You are shadier than Richard Nixon. That's like being a bigger piece of than George Zimmerman. That is what you are right now. And Donald, we know you take tax return disclosures seriously because you kept bringing it up during the last election.
I think that Mitt was hurt really very badly by this whole thing with the income tax returns.
Mitt has to get those tax returns out.
April 1st is the time that historically everybody gives them.
If you didn't see the tax returns, you'd think there's almost like something wrong. What's wrong?
Yeah. Something might be wrong. Like maybe Mitt Romney donated $1 million to the Take-A-Wish Foundation. Yeah. Now, when you see a man duck and dodge and delay, you can only conclude one thing. Because we're asking him to expose the deepest part of his soul, Donald Trump is afraid. And to be honest, I don't like seeing him afraid. It's like seeing a cat without hair. So Donald Trump, let me talk to you for a second. Hey, Donald. What's going on, man? This isn't you. Why are you afraid to release your tax return? Why? Nothing in these tax returns can hurt you. Nothing hurts you, dude. You're the new Teflon Don. Huh? The only thing that sticks to you is whatever bronzer you use. Come on, Donald. What could possibly hurt you? What could the returns possibly say? That maybe you pocketed half of the $6 million you supposedly raised for veterans? Or maybe that you made a sizable donation to Planned Parenthood? Or maybe you've been writing off all your penis pumps all these years. We don't know what's in them. But no matter what it is, nothing hurts you, Donald Trump. Come on. You're the same guy who said Mexicans were rapists and called for a ban on Muslims, and you still watched your polls go up. Hell, every day you go out in public wearing a pile of spaghetti squash on your head with confidence. And right now, Donald Trump, this tax return is making you look weak. Before you know it, everyone's going to start tweeting the hashtag #WeakDonald. And I don't want to see that. I don't want to see people calling you weak or tweeting hashtag #WeakDonaldTrump @RealDonaldTrump. I don't want to see that. So come on, Donnie. Pull it together. Pull it together. Pull it together, Donald Trump. Because we're on your side. Hey, guys, make sure you tweet hashtag #WeakDonald as much as you can.